Hi everyone, I'm here today to do the BookTube Watching Tag, and this tag was created by Harriet over at Harriet Rosie, and I was tagged by Aoife over at Fred Weasley Died Laughing. I'll leave links to both of their channels and videos down below just in case you want to check them out. So let's jump to this tag because I feel like it's one I might end up waffling about quite a bit. Question 1 is, how many channels are you subscribed to? I don't know the exact number for this, but I'm guessing at around 300 currently. Yeah. Question 2 is, when do you normally watch BookTube? I don't have a time in which I specifically watch BookTube. I tend to try and watch BookTube on my days off, a little bit here, a little bit there. Obviously not just solidly all day, although it has been known. I sometimes watch a little bit of BookTube in bed if I feel too tired to read, if I've just got in from work, for example, and I'm not in the headspace to read. Sometimes I watch a little bit of BookTube in the morning before work, but yeah, there's no specific timer. It's just sort of like a when I can kind of thing. Also, if it's someone who I consider a favourite and I watch all their videos, if I've noticed a notification that they've just uploaded a video, as long as I'm in and at home and not really doing anything important, I'll drop whatever I'm doing and watch that video there and then. So question 3 is, how do you balance BookTube watching, reading and making your own videos? I wouldn't say I do. Not at all. So let's cover this one little bit at a time. BookTube watching, as I just said, I struggle to get that in. And to sort of give you some insight, as I said, I will watch my favourites pretty much as and when I can, especially if I'm not doing an awful lot the moment they upload the video. But everyone else, if I see a video I'm interested in my subscription feed, just gets added to a watch list. That watch list can end up hundreds of videos long and months behind. Sometimes I just wipe it and give up and go, right, I'm starting again, and I miss out on all those videos, but I don't have enough hours in a day, I just don't. And meanwhile, other times I might be able to catch up and sort of keep on top of it for a bit here and there and just skip ones that I change my mind about, but it is so difficult. I really struggle to find time to watch BookTube. The reading side of things isn't quite as difficult because it's easy for me to read on my lunch break at work if I'm in a reading mood. It's easy for me to, in between sort of watching BookTube on a day off and I'm not meeting up with friends, just do a bit of reading here and there. I like to read before bed when I can. It helps settle me to sleep, as weird as that may sound, because I do read a lot of thrillers. I used to like reading when I wake up, but that's kind of been taken over by playing Animal Crossing Pocket Camp instead. Not enough hours in a day, there really isn't. As for making my own videos, that has been something I've really struggled with pretty much the entire time I've been on BookTube. I've been so inconsistent because finding the time and being able to just discipline yourself and be like, right, this is when I'm going to be filming, and actually stick to that, I was finding incredibly difficult, just because juggling it with everything else and also a full-time job in which I can work around 50 hours a week some weeks, it's really tough. That said, since the beginning of May, I feel like I've really turned a corner with that, and since the beginning of May I've managed to upload a video every other day consistently at 6 PM. And for the most part, that really hasn't been a problem for me. I've managed to stick to it really well. So I think I've finally found something that works for me, which is, regardless of my mood, regardless of whether I feel like filming, and regardless of what plans I have, it just means that I need to sort of jiggle around and get up earlier if needs be on a day off. My first day off, for the most part, except for last week, I think I did it on my 3rd day off, but it's because I knew I had 3 days. For the most part, on my first day off each week, I'm sitting down and bulk filming a whole week's worth of videos, sometimes a week and a half, sometimes even up to 2 weeks worth of videos. And that seems to be working for me. I'm also vlogging on those days, and by the end of my time off, I just end the vlog and I use that as one of my videos. And it means that I've always got a good supply of videos, because then on that same day, yeah, I realised that if I spread this out, I'd feel like I've got more free time rather than just spending a day being a video creator. But on the same day, I try and edit as many of those videos as I can. get them uploaded and get them all scheduled, create thumbnails, tag them, everything, so that I don't have to do anything for the rest of the week. So when I'm working a ridiculous day where I might work 10 in the morning till 12 at night, I can spend my free time, what free time there is of shifts like that, just doing a little bit of reading or a bit of relaxing, and I don't feel guilty about it, thinking, I've still got to edit this, I've still got to edit that, and when am I going to film this? And basically, I feel like I've finally found a way of at least getting the sweet spot with actually this channel. So, you know, the balancing is always a bit of a juggling act, but this is how I'm currently doing it. It doesn't seem to be working so well for my watching of BookTube. I will say that that's probably the thing that's suffering the most right now, but win some, lose some. Question 4 is there a difference between videos you like watching and videos you like making? Yes and no. My watching moods kind of vary quite a lot. I think I go through phases, so sometimes I go through a real sort of book review phase where I want to just read all the book reviews. I really, no matter what, will always enjoy watching wrap-ups and hauls and reading vlogs and discussions depending on who they are, but everything else I can sort of take or leave depending on my mood. And it does vary on my mood, because sometimes I really just want to watch, I can't even think, a bunch of tags. I often don't care about watching tags. I don't film that many of them. I've started doing recently because I need the slots for my video every other day. But yeah, not so bothered about tags overall, but they're quite easy to film. I will give tags that. So that's definitely one. My main one I would say is book hauls. I love watching a really good book haul. I hate filming them because most of mine are ebooks, and if you've ever seen one of my book hauls, you know what I'm like. I buy like up to 20 Kindle books a month. I'll probably get easily around 20 NetGalley books on a bad month. Before I know it, like, I'm having to film a video and talk about 40 books. I can't remember what 40 books are about that I haven't read yet. So I'm there trying to sort of juggle the synopsis with what I want to say. And then the editing process, I can't even tell you how long it takes me to edit my book hauls, because putting in image after image and then listing them all in the description, I hate it. I really actually hate it. And you'd think it'd be motivation for me to cut down how many books I get each month. And I always think that to myself. I'm like, right, I'm not going to stop filming book hauls, because if I just had a normal sized one like a normal person, it wouldn't be a problem. Next month I'll do better and I won't buy as many books and request as many books. So that's what I do each month. And then the next month I'm like, yep, I'm here to talk about another 50 books. I hate it. I love watching really long book hauls. And I suppose, yeah, that would be my other main one. Oh, another one I guess as well is I really enjoy watching good wrap-ups. By good wrap-ups I mean ones like Aoife over at Fred Weasley Died Laughing, you know, like really solid wrap-ups. Weekly ideally. I don't like a month one where someone's listing off like 11 books. I'd rather just have a weekly one. It doesn't matter whether you've read like 2 books or whether you've done an Aoife and read like 5. I really just enjoy like a weekly update, and I've tried doing them. I got to a point where I was enjoying filming them, but they just don't work with my schedule, because trying to balance reading when you're working unpredictable hours, and sometimes you're exhausted, other weeks you have plenty of time to read, means that some weeks I've read nothing, and then other weeks I've read like 4 books. It doesn't work for me. I also, until very recently, didn't have set work hours, so I would never know what my days off were going to be from one week to the next, which made that incredibly difficult, because I didn't know what day I could film a wrap-up on. If I could just film it on the same day every week, it wouldn't have been an issue, but some weeks I'd be working that day, and some weeks I'd be like, well, my day's off of this and this, and it doesn't work for me. So that'd be my other one, I suppose. Question 5 is, so who is the first booktuber you subscribe to, and do you still watch them? I'm not 100% sure who the first booktuber was I subscribed to, just because I know who the first booktuber I was I discovered, and that was Sana over at Books and Quills. For some reason, decided to search on YouTube for a book review, and I think it was because I'd looked at reviews on Goodreads for this book and there wasn't any, and I'd sort of tried to look over a few blogs and none of them were really sort of hitting the spot of what I could find. And I thought, I wonder if anyone does video reviews. Like, because I was thinking that obviously they exist for games. So I was like, let's go and have a look. And then that's when I discovered BookTube. So as I said, I discovered Sana. From there I started clicking over quite a few other people. Who else were the early ones? Kassidy Voinche was definitely one of the first ones that I started watching. I still watch both Sana and Kassidy, by the way. Heather over at Bookables was another earlier one that I discovered. Ariel from Ariel Bissett. I really can't think like what order I sort of stumbled across people from here. I think then I sort of might have discovered some of the bigger ones like Sasha from A Book Utopia and like Regan from Peruse Project and stuff like that. And from there you just sort of start discovering all these people and you're like, how did I not know this existed? So for the most part, the very early ones like Sana and, as I said, Kassidy, I still watch them. In the case of Kassidy, I watch pretty much every single one of her videos. So question 6 is, who is the most recent booktuber you subscribe to? I'm not sure if this is the very most recent one, but it's definitely like in the last few. And that is Suddenly Lorna. I discovered her channel when I went to Penguin's offices back in March to go and interview Emily Savada. And I just sort of asked, you know, like I was like, oh, have you got anyone else coming to interview? And I found out that one other person was, and that was Lorna. And so I was like, oh, I don't think I've heard of her. So when I got home, I looked her up, sort of had a little look through her channel and subscribed to her because, yeah, I really quite like similar books, which is probably why we ended up doing the same author interview. And I just thought, how have I not discovered you yet? She's got like over 5,000 subscribers. I don't know what planet I've been on. Question 7 is, share an old favourite booktuber. And without a doubt, the neighbour's dogs are going to bark. Seriously? Hopefully you can't hear that. Without a doubt, I'm just going to name 2 here. One of them is Aoife over at Fred Weasley Died Laughing, because we've been such good friends as we both started around the same time and got chatting around the very early stages. I haven't really got any favourite smaller ones to shout out that I would call an old favourite. I mean, like I said, my only other main one who I watch every video of that I've been subscribed to for years is Kassidy over at Kassidy Voinche, and she's got like loads of subscribers, so if you're watching me you probably know of her already, but yeah. So question 8 is, share a new favourite booktuber. And for this one, I've forgotten her name because I'm an idiot, over at Books Like Whoa, because I discovered her channel a couple of months ago probably, and since then I've been addicted to her discussion videos. She does so many really good discussions and they really make me think, and by the end of it I'm sat there going, oh, I've never even thought about this, and like it really opens my eyes. And I think that she's just got a real talent for discussion videos. I really enjoy her other videos too, but the discussion ones are top notch. Question 9 is, what is one of your booktuber pet peeves? I don't want this one to turn into a rant because this is one I feel so ridiculously strongly about. So a few months ago, probably longer than that now actually, time's flying by, several months ago more than likely, there was quite a bit of kerfuffle over this book, which I still haven't read, by the way. Sorry Aoife, I will get to it, I promise. But there was quite a lot of kerfuffle over that, and probably a few other books around that time too. And it was mainly caused by like 1 or 2 people suddenly realising that something would be like problematic in the book. And that's fine. Discover that's problematic, educate people, tell people, because not everyone will understand why something is problematic, because we've all come from different backgrounds and cultures and everything. So, you know, that is great. What I don't understand is people that then like are friends with these people and then go, oh, yeah, you're right there. I've always really championed this book. Now I'm just going to change my rating to 1 star and go around hating on this book. I don't get that. It really drives me nuts. If you want to sort of reread it and change your opinion, or over time if you think, you know what, I probably hyped that book up a bit too much, I probably didn't enjoy it quite as much as I said, then go for it. But if you've been championing a book for years about how amazing it is and how it's your favourite book, don't then a week later when all this has come out go, yeah, this book is trash, 1 star, don't read it. Like, I really hate that. Make your own decisions. Don't be swayed by other people. If you love a problematic book, go for it. I'm sure we all will have these situations at some point in our lives where we love a book and then we find out that, you know, the author, there might be some sort of problem with the author in, you know, like more recent times. I'm not going to name any names. Or like there might be issues with the content as we sort of become more knowledgeable about like different people's cultures and whatnot over time. I just get so wound up by it, because if you loved this book and you've raved about it for years and then you've changed your opinion in a week, I'm ranting, aren't I? I've just realised I'm ranting. You get my point. You get my point. It really winds me up. Make your own decisions. Don't let popular opinion sway you. If you love that book, go for it. Good for you. Do you? It's called being genuine. So question 10 is, what have you learned from watching other booktubers? So other than the obvious of discovering new authors and new books that I might not have otherwise stumbled across, because the amount of books you stumble across just because of BookTube is unreal. But other than that, what notes have I made? Oh yes, so it doesn't matter how many books you read. It's easy when you first start off in BookTube to beat yourself up because you see all these people reading all these books and you're like, oh my god, everyone reads so much and I read like 1 book a month. So what? There's plenty of really like successful booktubers that read 1 book a month. It's all about not comparing yourself to other people. That's what I've learned. Don't compare yourself to everyone else. So what if Aoife can read 5 books a week and often does? I might get 5 books a month. That's fine. We're all different. No need to compare. I no longer beat myself up about how my reading is going, even when I'm just ridiculously behind on my Goodreads challenge like I am right now. It's fine. I'm me. I'll see how the rest of the year goes. You never know. So question 11 is to tag some of your favourite booktubers. In my eyes, to be honest, to use the word favourite booktubers would be people whose video I watch every single one of, no matter what. There's only 3 people I do that for because I'm just too busy. I used to have a lot more. I used to have about 10 of those, and I've dwindled it down to 3 because either the person has done something to really annoy me, or a person doesn't make videos anymore, or I just started having to be really strict and tough about who I watch. Actually, no, I'm probably at 4 favourites still, but 2 of them are really big channels. One of them I've already mentioned, and one of them I mention an awful lot in pretty much every other video, so these will come to no surprise at all. Basically, I'm going to have to tag Kath over at Kath Elizabeth Reads, even though Aoife's already tagged her. Maybe this will help you do it, Kath, because I know you're not the world's biggest fan at doing book tags, but if 2 of us have tagged you, you can do it. As for my other one, I'm going to tag Kassidy over at Kassidy Voinche because she's the only other person really that I'd want to tag that isn't already done this tag that I would call a favourite booktuber. That brings us to the end of this. Oh my goodness. I filmed a reading vlog today where I've said nothing but how chatty and like over chatty I'm being in videos and vlogging and whatnot. I've just realised that my before editing time on this video is at 21 minutes, so I'm in for a lovely long editing session to try and cut out some of this waffle. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!